Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're new here, my name's Adam. I own several CFMoto motorcycles, a 23 Kawasaki Ninja 1000 SX and a 24 Indian Pursuit, and on the channel I just share my growing pains and adventures out riding with them and everything. Today we're on the CFMoto CL-X 700. If you watched last week's video, you would remember that I dropped my Ibex 800 while I was out on the dirt road trying the Motos tires out for the first time. Shit. And to be honest, you know, my back's still sore. I was wanting to take the Indian out to make a video with the Indian, but with the way my back is, you know, I didn't want to possibly run into some issues and drop that bike, because I did previously drop it a couple weeks ago when I wanted to take it out. So I need to start practicing slow maneuvers and get back used to riding that bike, get back comfortable riding on it. You know, for those of you that don't know, last year I went through testicular cancer, chemo, a bunch of surgeries and stuff. So, you know, it's just getting my strength back and everything. And that bike there has been the biggest, I don't want to say hurdle, but biggest challenge for me. So today, instead of pushing myself harder, you know, I'm trying to relax, taking this bike out. My mom and dad got a puppy that's gotten a little bit bigger since last time I saw it, so I thought I'd go see their puppy today and see how the CL-X 700 Sport handles the Interstate, which I already know how it handles the Interstate, but I don't have a video of me riding on the Interstate. All my videos have been country roads or highways that are, you know, less traveled. And you know, I'm in Georgia, so we're on Interstate 75 right now. And for those of y'all that know Interstate 75, it can be an adventure. So, you know, we're on the south side of it. We're about an hour south of Atlanta. You know, it's Saturday. I don't know what time it is. I mean, I think it's around midday. So traffic's not too bad. Normally, you know, down here, 75 north can be a pain in the butt. And on the north side, obviously going south can be a pain. So, but it's pretty windy today. It's not blowing me around too bad. You know, believe it or not, this is, you know, this is a neo retro cafe racer or naked sport bike, whatever you want to call it. But this bike really is super comfortable. You know, I'm 5'10", 32-inch inseam. I weigh about 220 pounds. And, you know, it's a blast riding this bike. You know, it still blows my mind how these didn't pick up, you know, any traction in the States. I mean, I get it, you know, CFMoto, people were weary of them when they brought this out. Now, you know, more and more people are getting into the sport bikes that they are offering. The 450s, the 300 was, you know, popular. Now they have the 675, what is it, SR, the triple that everybody's looking at, talking about. This bike here, I think, was just a little bit ahead of its time. And if you can find one, you can normally pick them up for pretty cheap. And, you know, I haven't had an issue with it. I got just over 1,000 miles on it. I think I got either like 12 or 1,400 miles on it. This is my go-to bike for around town when, you know, I need to go run to the post office, or, you know, want to go get a candy bar or something, you know, or just get out and ride, but not go anywhere and stay in town. This has definitely been the one that I jump on the most. I've ridden it to work, for work one way. That commute's about 40 minutes. In the morning, you know, it's turning into fall, so the mornings are getting cold. It's not my favorite bike to ride when it's 50 degrees outside, but, you know, the afternoon is fun to ride. When it's sunny, it's fun to ride. I think it handles the Interstate well. You know, there's enough power there. This is just basically a bored out 650 Kawasaki engine from, you know, my understanding of everything. But even though my lower back is hurt from picking up that Ibex, you know, last weekend when that camper came up on me and I grabbed too much brake, and you know, there's a slight downhill, very slight downhill grade. You know, it's just the front tire hit a rock, which caused the handlebars to go like that. The truck was coming forward, and then he stopped, and when he stopped, I kind of panicked and wanted to stop too. And I just grabbed too much front brake, and you know, down the bike went. And then obviously, you know, I'm feeling embarrassed by that, and just, you know, didn't want to hold him up with his camper, and you know, I didn't know if he had his family with him or what, you know. So I felt like the idiot that, you know, dropped the bike. Oh, I need to hurry up and get it up so he can get around me. And you know, I just I didn't think about it, I just did it. Now I'm paying for it. But with that being said, you know, again, even though this is a very, well, it's not, I'm sure there's more aggressive bikes out there than this, but out of my collection, this is a more aggressive riding stance motorcycle that I own. And even though it is the more aggressive one, it's still actually pretty comfortable. I hate when people hold hands like this on the interstate. What are these guys doing? Yeah, so hopefully for our upcoming videos, you know, we'll make one showing practicing slow maneuvers on the Indian once my back gets better, because I do need to practice that. What happened is my sister and I, we were riding two up, and we came up on the stop sign, and again, my handlebars weren't exactly straight. There was gravel under my feet, and I just had a slow spillover. You know, when I was going through chemo, taking that time off from riding, you know, I mean, you can jump back into it, but my strength's not there for that bike. And I know y'all are thinking go to the gym, and yeah, you're 100% right. I could go to the gym and get my strength back up, but I'm not doing that. You know, I work a lot of hours during the week to be able to, you know, enjoy everything that I do have. That consumes a lot of my time. So headed out to a gym, you know, I need to work on making a home gym. It's the best thing for me to do. But anyways, we're getting off subject, right? So we should be making a video coming up about practicing slow maneuvers. I still want to get the Ibex back out on some gravel and still practice, or not practice riding, but go ride in gravel, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to jump over any logs or anything, but just get more experience under my belt for riding in gravel. And then with it being fall, we'll head up to North Georgia. The trees will start looking pretty here in a couple months, and take the Ninja up there and get back up around Blood Mountain and Suches, and be up there in that part of Georgia to enjoy the roads up there, and make some videos on that as well. So that's what we have coming up. You know, sorry this one's short and sweet, but as you guys can see, this motorcycle handles the Interstate, you know, really well. And this one here has actually made me realize I enjoy feeling more wind on me. I've got a smaller screen for my Ibex. The Pursuit, I need to get a smaller windshield for it too, because that motorcycle does an excellent job of blocking air movement, and it's way too hot to be riding something where you can't feel the air going over you, and the Indian just excels at blocking air. The Ibex, excuse me. The Ibex does a pretty good job of it too, as far as wind coming over my face. I mean, I bought a windscreen that's smaller and tinted and just slightly larger than the OEM one. And even that one creates a bubble around my head that, you know, I don't get enough airflow or any air going into the vents of the helmet, you know, to help cool me down on the hot days. Like today's a beautiful day for riding. But we'll show that windscreen in another video. But yeah, this, like I was saying, you know, riding this bike here, you know, is the first really naked bike that I got to have, you know, any experience with. And it really makes me appreciate it a whole lot more here in Georgia on these hot summer days. All that drama for nothing. Well, alright guys, this one's short and sweet, but I appreciate you watching, all the new subscribers. I appreciate you guys joining. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe, leave comments down below. And I appreciate all y'all watching. And again, I apologize for this week's video not being anything outstanding. But bear with me, and we'll get some better videos coming. All right, you guys stay safe out there.